With such good company, it's the only place to be. Over at Grampy's house. Da-dee-da-dee, never is too late. Da-dee-da-dee, he will always wait. And when everybody's resting, he's always full of pep. Everybody's gonna be over at Grampy's house.
Betty Boop.
Thank you. Dear Betty, I'm giving a little party. Come right over, bring the gang. Grampy! Woo! Such a darling. I'm on my way to Grampy. Oh, he's such good company. It's the only place to be. Over at Grampy's house. Oh, I'm on my way to Grampy's. For he always treats me nice. Always something on the ice. Over at Grampy's house. Da-da-dee-da-da-da-dee.
Everybody's gonna be
over at Grampy's house, so we're on our way to Grampy.
with such good company. Over at Grampy's house,
So we're on our way to
Grampy, for he always treats us nice. Always something on the ice. Where?
over at Grampy's house. Da-da-dee-da-da-dee.
It never is too late. Da-da-dee-da-da-dee, he will always wait. And when everybody's resting, he's always full of pep. Everybody's gonna be right here at Grampy's house.
That must be Betty and the gang.
Okay, boys, come on in. Hello, Grampy dear. I brought you some company.
How you doing?
Howdy.
Hi, Grampy.
Oh,
How you doing, Grammy? Hey!
come on, folks, have some punch.
What an idea. Thank you.
Thanks. Down the hatch.
Oh,
Serve the cake, Betty.
I sure will.
Thanks.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Is that good? Say, Grampy, how about some music?
Music? No. Let me think. No, music. Uh-huh. Oh, music. Oh, dear. Oh, I've got it.
Where? Over at Grampy's house.
Still a stupid.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah,
It's just
clever.
Oh wow.
My week was pretty good. I was out of town.
Is our
for
audio okay?
A few
Sorry.
days this week. It's okay. Is everything good?
Well, I'm seeing the
Okay.
chat. Like,
You're saying
I
muted.
don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm muted.
I hear it.
How many? What did I
gosh.
see at the beginning of this episode 190 something?
That's right. It's episode 194, and I'm still boomer shit. It's already prostate. It's Friday night, goddammit. You know that it's time for the CREEM STREEM. Cyberspace cadets. America, bots, and Odesians. Okay? Now, with that out of the way, I want to greet everybody. And in the chat, of course, is awesome, always, as usual. And with that,
Hello, chat.
let's say hey to everybody. Let's say hey to ASHERELLA. How you doing this week? What was your week like?
My week was okay. I was out of town for several days for at our corporate office for training, and they call it camp because I think they think if you put camp on a word, it's fun. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But
God.
yeah, so that was it was all right, I guess. But then you come back to work and you have so much to catch up on because you've been out of your office for a few days and things just pile up. But it's Friday and I'm always excited for Friday. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sweet.
That was my week.
Cool. All right, Miss Becca. B is for Becca. How was your week? What's up?
My week wasn't too bad.
Yeah?
I took 2 days off from work this week, and it was very much needed.
Well, good. You're so talkative tonight.
I'll talk for her so she doesn't have to.
Yeah, I can make her talk, you know. We both can.
My mouth is my downfall.
This where she
Probably
going?
why I'm not talkative.
Right.
Hey, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. We had like a couple of days where it was just like really hard, like no sleep, but you know, it's all right. She's worth it. So.
How many times have you cried?
No, I mean, okay, once, but it wasn't because I was tired.
Right.
I had a happy cry.
Good.
Aw.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hi, Colleen. Sorry about that. I gotta.
Oh yeah, and if Beard isn't in the chat, it's probably because he's feeding her right now. So, but he's there.
Is he the ATM right now?
Yeah, temporary.
Yeah, Beard's on Twitch. There he is. I see him. And say hey to Phil.
Where's Beard?
What up, man? Spittle Buggies. Let's see. Zuka. Tater Raider. What up? I rinsed you, by the way. And okay, Object Hate. That's right. We were talking earlier about the Wicked ministry video he hooked me up with. So we're back in the studio here. We're going to ask Stone Monkey Man, how has your week been, dude?
Extremely busy.
Yeah. Are you okay?
I'm just kind of tired, as I said. It's been a long week, been a long month.
Yeah. You ready to just chill out?
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to Monday.
Uh-oh. Is something bad happening?
No, it's just
Monday.
work's just been a pain in my ass.
There you go. Well, let's have fun, man. You're not at work now. We're at fun. That's what I call this. At least it's fun for me. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
Chip Poop, how's your week, bro?
Wait, I forgot one thing.
Oh,
I pooped my pants.
Didn't I see it? Smelled it too. It wasn't good.
It wouldn't be Stone Monkey without the poop in the pants. I'm just saying.
Right?
Right?
Well, I pooped my fishnets.
That's just the sight that I don't even want in my head, fucker. But hey, more power to you, right? I don't judge. Well, maybe I do. Maybe a little bit.
Makes you think of Play-Doh, you know? Play-Doh spaghetti.
Oh my God, Jackie.
Oh my God.
No, I don't want to kill her.
Irate, come on.
The mental image for that.
Fucking crying. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh.
You okay?
Fuck. I don't know, man.
Good way to open the show. I look at chat, and Spectral Umbreon just says, that's a throwback.
Oh my God. Oh, Lordy. Oh, it's good to see the chat. The chat is active though. It's good to see people in there, man. We're rolling a little bit. Oh, Lordy. I don't know what to do, man. Let's see. You ready to log in for some?
Umbreon says, you could say it was very trippy poop. Oh, what a
That
pun.
was nice. Spectral Umbreon.
What a pun.
Very
I see you
clever.
roasted
Very
that.
witty.
I figured out a way to make some really good videos for YouTube.
Nice.
I'm literally gonna go drive around Portland and record everything I drive by.
No damn.
Oh, Bubba Doo.
I was watching the streets of Philadelphia or Philly. Oh my fucking god! I was laughing my ass off, and I was kind of sad at the same time with how many goddamn people were slumped over or in the process of stabbing themselves in random parts of the body. To
not with needles.
Start slumping over.
I've seen like videos of that, so it's very real, huh?
It's like, hey, that's Portland, except for worse, because Portland's worse. It's got more tents.
I could probably find areas of
We need
Detroit
to get you
that
like a gimbal to mount on your fucking car, just so you can just drive by and shoot some shit.
The Google car thing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we'll do that
360 cam and shit, driving around fucking downtown Portland.
Junkie Rama. That's right, live in Junkie
Hell of
Rama.
views. Yeah. I'd get hell of views on that shit. People be like,
Yeah,
"What the
you
fuck?"
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Talk about scat porn. Scats everywhere. Holy smokes.
No, it's not. Maybe I don't know. When I went to the concert the other month, it was bad out in that area, and that's kind of an industrial slash, it's the Coliseum area. There's not really a whole lot of a place for that, but hey. It's great watching the local news because when they have to do stuff, they do their best job to try to not record, not have any of the tents on camera. And it is fucking hilarious how they have to cut every 5-10 seconds when they're panning around somewhere because they're trying their best. And it's just like, you still see it in the background. It's just like, yep, that's Portland.
No doubt. It's like watching a bad YouTube video from 4 or 5 years ago where all these jump cuts and shit.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, there's still YouTubers that edit their shit exactly like that.
Yep.
We're going to go over one of those guys' videos tomorrow, I think. I'm going to torture the shit out of my guests because I'm doing a Saturday show instead of a Sunday show because I stupidly scheduled a doctor's appointment at 7 a.m. on Monday.
Dang.
So I can't very well stay up really late on
7
Sunday.
a.m. on a fucking Monday.
Yeah, what doctors open that early? Dang.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Well, we're going to get there early because...
right,
our
I see
appointment-
what you're saying. Right.
Yeah, both me and Mom have an appointment there on the same day.
But
So
yeah,
it's
all right,
like
so
Thursday.
all right, so the good part about that though is of the morning appointments, that's the best one to get because you'll get to spend the most time with the doctor probably.
Right.
Right?
Or she'll
So-
pull us back there and be like, oh, you guys are fine. Okay, bye.
And then
So we'll be there for maybe 10 minutes. It's not too bad.
nurses are in a good mood because they haven't dealt with as many shitty people.
Right.
That's true. Remember back when I set up the appointments for this current doctor? It took 6 or 7 hours for us to get back there to see the fucking doctor the first time.
Ugh.
I mean, it's just for me at the time. Mom wasn't going to a doctor, but now they're same person's our family doctor, so that's cool.
I've been to urgent care where literally a doctor or a nurse practitioner talk to me for 30 seconds maybe, and then that was it. You have your nurse or whoever that takes you in, does your vitals, get your symptoms, and then okay, here's a prescription. I think you have this or whatever. And I don't know, it's a little disheartening, especially before I had insurance and I was paying for every doctor, every urgent care out of pocket. And it's you just took all my grocery money for the rest of the month. Could you at least give me just a little bit more attention,
Mm-hmm. That's how my endocrinologist is. He wants to get done with his visit in split second because he's got tons of patients every day.
Right.
So, yeah, he's really quick about himself. He'll come in and he'll be like, how have your blood sugars been? I'm like, good. Or if I got a problem, I'll let him know. And he'll look at my numbers and shit and he'll come back and he'll be like, all right, you're done. You can go. It's like, cool. Thank you. Dr. Guy, who I couldn't remember how to say his name for the longest time. Gaffer Lou.
My doctor would speed through appointments because they start taking on Medicaid. They have all these fucking illegals in there.
I am not an illegal.
Uh-huh.
So it's just full all the time. And then because the government dicks you around and underpays you so much, you stop taking Medicaid and Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm shocked he takes military insurance because same thing basically.
TRICARE.
You know what
Yeah.
is crazy is that like I legitimately renewed my birth control prescription for a year on Instagram like a week or two ago. Didn't even fucking leave the app. Like, and it was like a whim thing because this like ad came up for like the pill club, or there's a lot, I don't know if y'all go on Instagram, but like you'll get all these ads, and like one came up and I was like, oh, I do need to like renew my birth control, like whatever. And so I tap on it and I look on it, and next thing I know, I'm like scanning my insurance card in, and like that's it. Like I didn't even leave the app, and like I had a year's worth of birth control like mailed to me.
Cool.
Yeah. Random. I love technology sometimes. That's just crazy. Like that's something you just don't predict.
Right. People bring up birth control. My ex was on that fucking shot.
Mm-hmm.
And it made her insane.
Yeah, it will.
Fucking.
Never been on birth control.
What is that shit called?
Depo-Provera.
So yeah, something like that. Well, it might be like a shortened version of the title.
Depo.
But yeah.
Depo, yeah.
That's what they call it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she was fucking freaking out. And she was like, you better wear a fucking condom. I'm like, okay. Big difference from normal, right? Fucking Jesus.
It will make you crazy. I was on it when I was like younger, and like if you're like, and I seriously think if you're like still younger and like your hormones are like balancing out, is not a good option. Like it would make you very emotional. It's like, you know how like if you take like prednisone or steroids and things like that, how it'll make you like really emotional and like short tempered and like that kind of thing. It's almost like that same kind of feeling and vibe. So I did not take the shot for very long. So many years ago.
Roasted thinks he has his shit working now. You want to give it a roll, Roasted?
Let's do it.
Let's see if this works.
It's working.
Yay!
It's intermittent still, but it's not as bad as it was. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Yay!
It's good to have you, man. How was your week, Roasted?
How was your week, Roasted? Bleh. I said reek.
The hotel that I was staying at over in Knoxville for work earlier this week, they had like regular Wi-Fi, right? But then if you wanted like good Wi-Fi, you had to pay like $4.98 a day for it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that's some bum shit, you know?
Sorry, I keep fucking. I was a little tired earlier. I tried to take a nap. I didn't fall asleep, so I have a case of the yawns, and it's nothing anybody here's doing. I keep having to mute. If you hear me,
we bore you.
That's me yawning. No.
Yes.
Nigga, I can't read.
Whoa.
Man, he just ran in here. That was weird.
That is weird. Stop popping in here.
You know, Ghastly does that all the time on my shows. People are getting too loud. He'll just run in and say, shut the fuck up, and he's gone. And it's like, how did he get in here? I don't even think he's in that Discord. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we know what makes DT go away.
Money, money, money.
Money.
I might have to get one of these, man. Just threaten people with something. Like, you gotta stare at this. You donate. It doesn't matter how much.
Yes.
Hey,
I'll make mine
Wikipedia
cost
snippet.
$5, and I'll never get the $5, so it'll be the only image on screen the whole stream.
Brian, if Trippy drank a nerd slushy, he'd probably die.
Oh,
a lot of sugar.
The higher numbers. Yeah, that would. Oh God, I could only drink that if my sugar was low and I had no other way of raising it. Which, thanks for reminding me to take my nightly shot.
Oh yeah, I'm
That reminded
supposed
me
to
take the
ask
nightly
you.
shot.
Are you taking your meds today?
On the other fucking. Yeah, I already took the Xarelto. Okay, so I don't need to do that again.
Nice.
I should be off that shit after I go to my appointment on Monday. I'm gonna tell her, like, look, I've been taking that shit for 3 months. Y'all told me to take it for 3 months. I'm not taking it anymore.
Whoa.
What up? You get a dono?
Yeah, I just got a dono from buymecoffee.com. Thank you.
Ooh.
Nice.
Usually it doesn't say who did it, so until like it'll pop up in a day or two, in a minute or two.
Cool.
But it is what it is. So you know what that means? The cleansing flames of the archangels come in, and Demon Trinity is blasted to hell where they belong.
Ugh. I have a long needle in my stomach.
Yeah.
Laugh with that in there.
Pica sucks.
What's that?
I
forget what that is.
Pica is like where you like eat stuff that you're not supposed to eat.
Oh.
You can take different forms. The most common form is eating dirt.
I've heard that is like if you have like an iron deficiency, like
it depends. Yeah, there's like there's a compulsive version, and then there's like a vitamin deficiency, thing that can happen there too.
I heard the same thing that ASHERELLA did because I had found a bunch of videos of people eating baking soda, and I feel like I should send those to BECCA because then she would have to listen to people eating baking soda. As like you can hear it squeak on their teeth, BECCA.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
And I had gone down to the comment section on one of the videos, and somebody said, if you notice, most of these videos seem to star black women, and iron deficiencies are very common in black women. And they were
my
like,
God.
I sensed the correlation.
Okay, I haven't watched like many of the episodes, but they have like My Strange Addiction. I watched like a countdown episode of that, of some of the weirdest ones. And one was this woman who had ate like 2.5 mattresses in her life. Like whole mattresses. Like
yeah, and her mom was all pissed at her because she eats her mom's mattress.
How do you fucking eat a mattress?
Shit.
Like, yo, in the video, she reaches under the mattress I rate, and she's like, I got a big old trunk.
No, dude, I swear to God, there's like someone that has like, I think there's someone that has like the world's like record for eating planes, and it's 1. Like he would just like eat a little bit of the plane at a time every meal.
Like you mean an airplane? Like an aircraft?
Yes.
The fucker ate an aircraft.
Yeah. I swear to God, this is a thing. I
believe it. It was some crazy ass shit on there. There was one woman who ate, like, she was like addicted to eating her dead husband's ashes because like something had happened and she had opened the urn and she had gotten some like on her hand and she didn't want to like wash the ashes down the drain. So she licked her fingers because she was like, it's my dead husband. I don't want to wash it down the drain. And then that's what was like the catalyst for her. Now she eats a little bit of his ashes like every day. And she's like running low on him. And like, oh my God,
Yikes.
People are just nuts.
You're going to have to get another body of
husband and kill him off, yeah.
But there's that old joke that, it's like a guy says that he took his wife home, her ashes home, and mixed it with marijuana. He said that's the best a woman ever made him feel.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Still, it reminds me of South Park when
the best that ever made me feel. Yeah, it kind of sounds like a Rodney Dangerfield. It might be. I can't remember.
Carbon mixed Kenny's ashes into Ovaltine and drank them, and then he was he had Kenny's spirit stuck in him for like a whole season of South Park.
Oh God.
He mixed it. He thought he was Ovaltine.
Oh,
he was trying to get Kenny's body because he thought that Kenny had the magic ticket that the boys won to take as much candy as they wanted out of a candy shop. So Cartman wanted that fucker. And they went and talked to the parents, and the mom was like, well, Kenny's in here now. And showed him the urn, and Cartman thought she literally meant that Kenny was inside the urn. So he broke in and poured it out, and he was like, this is just chocolate milk mix. Yeah. No. And he drank them.
Gross.
But that lady you were talking about with the mattress, right? Another quote from her little interview on that show was that she said, sometimes I've eaten so much mattress when I use the bathroom, I could probably just reach in the toilet and pull it back out and eat it again.
Oh.
Because
Gosh,
it comes
what's
out
wrong
in
with
fluffy
people?
chunks.
No.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna fuck your body up, man. Like in all kinds of ways.
Oh.
That is gross.
Apparently, it flooded their toilet pretty often.
I bet it did.
Yeah, there's like a, what is it, Djibouti dubs or something?
I don't know this.
Voiceover for it, and the brother's on camera just looking at the sister, and he's like, "Man, all I want to do is take a shit. Every time I try to take a shit, the toilet's clogged."
Dude,
Man.
I would dig a hole in the backyard and make her go out there.
Mm-hmm. Go in the latrine, bitch. Digging latrines.
Man.
Ugh.
Sakes alive.
We're up to 21 people, and they're all listening to us talk about that stupid shit that I keep bringing up.
I'm pretty bad to take.
Well, you know, it is that time for 2 minutes of hate. Since we are in the ink sock, I don't know, what would you call that? The hippodrome. I'll just use that term because it sounds cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But 2 minutes of hate. All right, and Ava's for ASHERELLA. Give me some hate. All right, you got 2 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll, girl.
Okay, so as we are all a little disgruntled lately with YouTube, okay, Bubonic, our friend we all know and love, his channel is on suspension right now because he was streaming a pre-existing YouTube playlist. Okay, and they said it violated terms of service, but these were monetized videos pre-existing on YouTube. It wasn't a copyright strike. It was like a community guideline strike and our community guideline suspension. Yeah, he was streaming content on YouTube that was monetized, and now he can't stream on YouTube for 2 weeks because YouTube is just screwing everybody over. And I was like, you should appeal that, and he did, and they rejected it. But I just don't understand how they can justify suspending somebody's channel for showing content on their own platform. What the hell? I don't understand. I think that YouTube is just getting so out of hand with bullshit like this. It is alienating the type of creators that made it what it is. And, we're all, I know everybody, we're doing ODYSEE and Twitch and everything like that now. And, I've been uploading my videos on my YouTube channel to ODYSEE also. Because, I don't know, I just think this is just going to continue to get worse. And we're all going to end up going to alternate platforms permanently and as our main shortly. I think it's coming. And that's pretty much it. Bullshit.
Sweet. Really, you got 8 seconds. You sure you're done?
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm done. Fuck YouTube. I'm sorry. I love YouTube. Yay.
Yeah, okay.
YouTube is great.
All right.
Yay.
Good. Yeah, we want to thank Susan because, without her, we wouldn't have to be so creative and find out all kinds of cool ways to dodge the yeet.
They do say that sometimes censorship can provoke creativity in artists.
Yeah. And one thing they hate is humor. So tell a joke.
How dare you, sir?
But
how dare
isn't
you?
it how do they even justify doing that when it's not copyright strikes? It's not, oh, I don't have permission to use this, so now I'm in trouble. That's almost understandable, But it's community guideline strikes because it was nudie videos, I guess. But they are monetized on pre-existing YouTube playlist, and they are videos that exist on YouTube for anyone to watch. And that's okay, but then somebody streaming it is going to get in trouble for showing inappropriate content. It's hypocritical. It's a double standard, and it seems really targeted. I don't know.
That's exactly what it is, man. They're just they've got certain channels, man, But they're just, they're waiting to thump. So, and this was one of them too. Yeah, vagina exercise. See, man. See, Trippy, you could have never played that billiards thing that you were looking at the other night.
Oh, fuck no, I know that.
Yeah.
B-Token played that on his Twitch.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And he got away with it just fine.
I bet. All right,
it's only 8 seconds. So.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. It's a girl playing pool with her hoo-ha. Just saying. All right, Becca, you don't get any weirder than that.
It's called MLG Vagina. Or no.
I don't want to know.
Oh, it's called MLG Vagina No Scope.
No Scope.
Wow. Ew.
Funny as shit.
XNXX.
That title gets me every time. No Scope shit. Oh, Lordy.
Yep, MLG, Major League Gaming, Vagina No Scope.
That's right, Vagina No Scope. All right, Becca, you got 2 minutes?
I have no hate. All love.
You've got to be kidding me.
Have you seen my Twitter? I am just spreading nothing but love. Okay? That is all that's happening here.
Yeah.
No, I really don't have any. I really don't have any. I guess targeted.
No school
hate
cunts
this week
or anything.
No school. Well, I may have some tomorrow. The youngest one has a choir boot camp or some shit tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. But no, this week's hasn't been that bad. I got 2 days off. I worked. Employees were good little people, and all love.
Everybody did what they're supposed to. Sounds like that's good.
Yeah, it was a good week.
All right, well, fuck it. Shigon, what about your 2 minutes?
Things are going pretty good. I can't have too much hate. I did see a news article that said that the city of St. Paul in Minnesota is going to mandate all the city employees to get vaccinated. And so that didn't make me very happy. I don't work for St. Paul, but yeah, that doesn't bode super great. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little over worrying about it, but yeah, it sucks. I don't think it's gonna go well for them.
Just lie to them. You lie to them.
I don't want it to happen to. I don't want to have to deal with that where I work. So that's my 2 minutes. I hate. Not 2 minutes, but.
Indeed.
And fuck mandates. That's all.
Roasted, do you want to give it a shot? No, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me at all?
Ah.
Yes.
There was
Yay!
Okay, it's still intermittent, but it's worth a shot. First thing that I really hate is this internet router that I'm having to work on. It's not my router, so I can't do everything I need to do to it. I hate the fact that I have spent the last 3 months trying to get my house put back together. And I hate that the thing keeps on popping in and out. Done.
Sure. You got a minute 30 seconds. Well, we got love for you, man. And it'll be good to have you back. And hopefully things will get back to normal here. But we'll touch on that perhaps later. Stone Monkey. You rarely have any hate.
Rabble.
Yeah. You got anything you want to talk about? You're pissed off about?
Billie Eilish. Yeah, whatever that fucking noise is, I'm tired of it coming up on the radio.
Jesus.
Everything, all of it sounds the same, and it's all garbage.
It does all sound the same, man.
Anybody that likes it, I'm sorry, but that's horrible noise. I hate it.
With a fucking passion. I'm with you on this shit, man.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Man, I played Rainbow A Light in the Black last night on Odyssey, and it felt great.
Nice.
Well, actually, Winamp chose it, but it's just, that's a great song that hardly anybody ever gets to hear, man. Anyway, I could talk about that.
And
for
Rainbow
days.
is Ronnie James Dio's old band?
Yeah, Rainbow it was Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple. And he basically took a band called Elf that had Ronnie James Dio as the lead singer and kind of absorbed them and then kept Dio and booted everybody else. And
wow.
Right. And then hired this killer drummer named Cozy Powell and a keyboard player and bass man. And they're ridiculous. The keyboard player is as good. He wasn't as good as Keith Emerson, but he was close. All right. Tony Carey. He ended up doing a song back in the 80s called Why Me? And the video is like this dude floating out in space in a spacesuit. But that's Tony Carey. Anyway, I know all kinds of useless shit, Trippy.
I do too.
All right, so what do you got? 2 minutes of hate, brother?
Me?
Yeah. Go.
I hate all the racist white people that are around today and how much they're racist and how they just don't understand people had it worse out of everybody, especially those darn Native Americans.
And the transphobia is horrible. This has been the worst week for transphobia. I mean, really. Transphobians unite, or, well, anyway. People with...
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just all those damn white people.
Polypronouns.
They're not as white as I am, and they're stealing my culture.
Because
white people don't have any culture of their own.
Play that funky music, cracker. I mean, we're gonna get booted off YouTube now. I'm sorry.
Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die.
No, it's cool. Y'all, I was down on white people, so that shouldn't get us in trouble.
Indeed. Does anybody want to say anything? Hey, Aircraft Sparky, what at? He's pissed. What are you pissed about, Sparky?
He said, what was that other part? The Fauci ouchie can kiss both sides of my ass.
We'll be talking about that in the third hour. Because that's the way what we're, that's the deal I've made with Susan is that I'll talk about all that other shit that we don't talk about, we can't talk about here. We can, I mean, if I want to lose my channel, but you don't want to keep this thing and, you know, just to make a point, really.
I see an Accelerate in the chat in YouTube, and he says, I got banned from Facebook for saying jokes are funny.
Holy shit. Are you fucking kidding me?
How dare you admit that jokes are funny?
They're trying to head off the meme before it becomes a meme.
Jokes are funny. The fuck? We live in a society and jokes are funny.
The Netflix thing. Yeah, that dude, man. What planet are the transphobians from? Well, where do you think? They're from Earth. All the demon trannies come here from the fourth dimension.
I gotta be honest, there's a couple of people I would consider trannies that I'm a little afraid of. But not like a phobia way. Like I'd consider James Charles, was it James Charles? No, Jeffree Star. I would call him trans because of what he looks like.
I'm
afraid of Jeffree Star.
He does not identify as trans. He's a really weird person.
He scares me.
Because he considers himself a guy, but he totally looks like a woman. I don't know.
I don't know. What is
well, I mean,
like
all right, so let me, so I don't know about this person, okay? All right, do they have like hormone-induced breasts?
No.
No.
He's a gay dude, and
he makes makeup, and he dyes his hair.
He's like kind of like David Bowie back in the day.
But he's not even Bowie is masculine compared to
Jeffree Star.
Yeah, like
well, that's
and he'll wear women's clothes, but then he like works out and he doesn't have like boobs, but he has his whole like cosmetics line, and he wears full face makeup and wears like long women's wigs and fingernails.
And he wears nails, and
but
he collects
he's not
purses.
trans. He says he's not trans, so I don't know.
He collects purses. I heard at one point he got a gift purse from one of his male friends that cost $15,000, and Jeffree Star threw it away and said, "They got me the cheapest purse in the whole store."
Junk. Fuck that.
Yeah. He is very wealthy. He lives
Birthday
like his
present.
house is like insane. He used to be a
I shouldn't have
like
brought him
pop
up.
singer before he started his own makeup
Really,
line.
I gotta find that.
And like I remember like way back in the day seeing like Jeffree Star t-shirts in like Hot Topic. Like he did. Go ahead, sorry.
I said Hot Topic song.
He was kind of part of that whole like early 2000s like to mid 2000s like scene, like the colorful like scene goths kind of thing.
Yeah, like cyber goth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we will.
But listen, I do have some of his eyeshadow, and it's pretty damn good actually. So.
Well, I wouldn't say.
I gotta say that. Yeah.
Wear makeup.
No, but he's done a lot of shady ass shit, and he gets like close to canceled. I say that in quotes all the time on YouTube and social media and stuff, because he's a schemer, and I mean, and I think that's probably one of the reasons he's as wealthy as he is like he's very savvy in his dealings with people just in general, and
I put a picture of
he
him
has
in the toilet
parlayed that into a
in the Discord.
multi-million-dollar wealth.
I put a picture of him in the toilet in this Discord, not in the actual toilet, so that Irate can see him.
And oh my god, he has a song from back when he's like, it's like, oh, it's so cringe. The title of the song is like Love and Cobain, and it's like about like Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, don't even, please God, do not even. But yeah, his music was terrible.
I put a pic of Jeffrey in the toilet for you, Irate, if you want to see what he looks like. I got another one. It's more feminine, I would say. Check out the toilet, Becca. You think he's sexy? He thinks he is. All right.
He's like a dude. I like that dress though.
I don't care
like
what you've
our
hidden in
girls.
there, Trippy. I'm not looking in the toilet.
It's a YouTuber, man. Look in the toilet. You'll love it. I left something nice for you in the toilet.
No.
It's not that nice.
The Trippy's not here, so the poop must be in the toilet.
Yeah, maybe. You know.
You look at any poop.
What do you think, though, Becca?
He
Becca
looks like what comes out of fishnet stockings.
Human Play-Doh.
So he is the human Play-Doh.
Oh my
Welcome
god,
back.
I love it.
It scares me, though. Yeah, right, I put him in the toilet. So you
Okay,
can go
this
check
is
out
that cringe
Jeffree
ass
Star in the toilet.
video.
Oh, here's another one.
Does he
that I
wear
think is-
fishnets though?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he does.
He's
Oh,
got
okay.
tons of tats.
He's a tatted up weirdo. But look at this one. I think it's
He
supposed
is
to be
a-
scary.
Oh.
What are we looking at?
In the toilet section of the Discord.
Jeffree Star.
Yeah, Jeffree
Why?
Star. I put a couple pics of him in there, and then one
His
that I
music
can only
career
guess.
was before he totally went totally femme.
He's
I
kind
mean, he
of like
was still
Marilyn
like,
Manson. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of glam rock aspect to it.
that's like when he was still doing his music, it was like that, but now he's just like, he just dresses like a chick, and like,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm a dude, like, I don't know, it's weird. It's so weird. He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube
And he was
channel.
dating some
Like
NBA
millions.
player, and then there was all this. Sorry, I like keep up on a little bit of internet gossip. I don't like it, but I know about it. And then it was like there was all these people saying it was like staged and like I don't know. I don't.
His
care.
YouTube channel has 16.3 million subscribers.
It do.
Yuck! I
And,
can't
like,
watch it. The guy scares the shit out of me. He's like what nightmares are made out of.
He and Shane Dawson are like real good buds, and then like
Shane
Shane's
Dawson's
a
back
fucking
on YouTube.
creep. He's got like a new series that he's doing.
Oh, Shane.
I
always
think he's
reminded me
funny.
of-
Well, I was listening
Schmomo.
to a video earlier today where he was talking about like how it's hard for me to even say. Basically about how like pedophilia is just like a fetish.
From when
and,
he
like,
looked up little girls on the net and he said that shit on his podcast.
This was like he was talking, yeah, and like he was talking about the little 6-year-old girl.
Ugh.
Mhm. Yeah, I
and
just
there's
can't get
a clip
over
out there.
that. Like,
There's like a clip
you
out there
know,
of him talking to one of his nieces about something sexual and shit.
yeah.
That's disgusting.
And he was like, well, that's just how our family is. And I just happened to have recorded it and uploaded
Well,
it.
this one, yeah, and like, well, he was talking about this little girl. He was like taking a picture for Instagram, and she was like, "Oh, are you Instagramming?" And she was like 6 or 7 or something like
I remember,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, you have an Instagram?" She's like, "Yeah," and she had like, I don't know, 125K followers on her Instagram, and he was talking about how, because it was like she was a cheerleader, a little cheerleader, and that's what she posted was like cheerleading stuff, and then he was just going into places I'm not even gonna say, talking about this little girl, and yeah, it's just I don't know, like, you know, I will, like, there's no forgiveness.
He's
for
a weird
that, you
motherfucker,
know?
is what would be the end of that.
There's no, for me, there's like no getting past that with any of his content, you know?
Yep.
And I mean, I am
no
like,
idea.
He's one of those people that you just, he's weird, and I get that vibe off of him as soon as I first saw him, and I don't remember how long ago that was.
There's a picture of what they're talking about. So, yeah.
Sorry.
Is that like a Barbie doll with like a lollipop head on it?
Where? Is it Jeffree Star?
Like,
Shane Dawson? Because we switched to Shane Dawson for a minute there.
No, this is Jeffree Star. This is
Yeah, that thing he's licking is himself.
It's like a little naked version of himself.
Yeah.
It's gross. We should
Yeah.
probably
I don't know how even, I'm real bad to tangent.
I think I'm going to make a new demon training. I think I found
yeah. I'll find you some good photos at every
I
server.
just saw it pop up on screen right when you said that. I saw it pop up on the YouTube. Yeah.
Right. All right, and
But he's not trans supposedly.
all right, we're going to
He's
the
a
TV room,
follow.
y'all. We got some shit to look at.
We talked about nothing for an hour almost.
Hey, that's how all my streams are. But I don't want my rates to turn into that. So
Seinfeld on bad drugs. Right? Or
I'll
on
be
good
streaming
drugs, depending on how
tomorrow
you want
and
to look at
Sunday.
it. Yeah.
So I figured for tomorrow's stream instead of Sunday, right? Since I'm going live on Saturday instead of Sunday. Sorry to reiterate that many times. I'm going to show off some really fucked up shit that I've recently had sat in my lap by Bubonic. He knows who I'm talking about. Ash probably does too. So I'm going to need like at least one person who knows anime to come onto my show tomorrow. So that invite's out there for people. There you go. Thanks, Everett.
Right.
And that's opened up the watch thing in the Discord.
Right, you got
You
it?
don't want to get suspended, Chippy.
Oh, fuck. Not this
Yeah.
one.
Are y'all ready for this? Okay. We're going to watch history. History being made. All right. Let's see.
Not.
Let's not say we did. We got
Oh,
to.
no. I already know. Yeah, I got it.
All right. Yeah, and I had a whole interview with the Admiral. Oh, hold on. Well, anyway.
Good morning. Welcome to the ceremonial swearing in of our new 4-star Admiral of the United States Public Health Service Commission Corps, Dr. Rachel Levine. I'm Andrea Palm. I'm the Deputy Secretary here at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. The path towards equality is a long one, but today we are taking a historic step forward with the appointment of Admiral Levine as the first openly transgender 4-star officer across the uniformed services. I am proud to serve at HHS as history is being made and to support a more diverse
We
future.
would like you to know that this
I will
person used to have
administer
dick
the
and
Public
now
Health
takes
Service Corps oath, and Vice Admiral Vivek Murthy, U.S. Surgeon General, will serve as a witness. Vice Admiral Murthy, would
a
you like
Vice
to say a few
Admiral.
words about the U.S. Public Health Service Commission Corps?
We are extremely proud to have Dr. Levine join the 6,000 officers of the U.S. Public Health
Instead of a
Service
person of
Commission
color like
Corps,
myself.
who serve on the front lines of our nation's fight against disease and poor health conditions. They are dedicated to providing health care to underserved and vulnerable populations across our country.
Dr. Levine, are you ready?
I am.
Place your hand on the Constitution and raise your right
Not
hand
a
and
Bible.
repeat after me.
The Constitution.
I state your name.
I, Rachel L. Levine,
Having been appointed an officer in the Commission Corps of the U.S. Public Health Service.
Is that a wedding band?
having been appointed an officer in the Commissioned Corps of the U.S. Public Health Service,
In the grade of Admiral.
In the grade of Admiral.
Do solemnly reaffirm.
Do solemnly reaffirm.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Are we sure?
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome, Admiral Levine. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, please.
Got to take the mask off for this.
Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
I would also like to thank my family and friends for their unwavering support as we take this momentous step together. The opportunity to serve as the head of the United States Public Health Service Commissioned Corps as a 4-star officer is an extraordinary honor and a profound responsibility. I am truly honored to join the ranks of men and women across this great nation who have committed to defend the United States against small...
It really is a huge fuck you to the career people.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine busting your ass your whole life dedicated to the fucking U.S. Navy, and this dude fucking, leapfrogs your ass, know, for some horse shit like this. It's really
I was just
insulting.
thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
They
you know how
would never get accepted into the armed services at all for the mere fact that it's parading around like a chick with a dick. How does any of this make sense? And the whole oath that it just took is moot because it's over here saying mental disability or whatever the fuck. You can't even make this oath. Did anybody do a psych eval on you? You couldn't pass one.
Anne Frankenberry in the YouTube chat says, if wearing blackface is offensive, why isn't wearing women face?
Hey.
Okay, well, right, and you know how, like, when people, like, whenever, like, back whenever, like, affirmative action and, like, diversity in, like, university enrollment, things like that. So any kid that was even, like, 1/64th Native American were, like, putting it, like, on their application because so they would give them an edge up on admissions or whatever. It's like, now because all the trans stuff has just been forced into the spotlight and we're, like, everybody is, like, having to, like, acknowledge it and deal with it, and if you don't, then you're, like, discriminating, and it's like, what, it's gonna stop these people that are gonna do this, or, like, oh, how can I get a leg up on the people that have worked harder for this position than me, and I don't know if this would, like, mental health issues, very obviously, but, like, it's just like, who's to say that, like, people aren't going to be like, oh, well, I'm trans because it's going to give me a better chance of getting a promotion or getting this or getting that, giving me an edge on people that have worked harder for it than I am. I don't know. It just, I don't know. It's bullshitty.
Yeah, and I
you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Well, look at the mouth. I'm just saying, looks like he's done that a couple of times. Oh, yeah. Beck and I go to the same place. Born to suck dick. That's right.
Look, how...
Do we want to listen to the rest of this shit?
This bitch took
go ahead, man.
their mother out of home care facility in Pennsylvania and then put in COVID positive people into these nursing homes, killing the older population. Not all of them, majority.
Right, and they pulled the trigger on that. They are the person that was the person to make that decision, and
this is their reward for it.
Yes.
Oh, look at all the work that they did in Pennsylvania. It's so stunning, so fucking brave.
It killed all those
But they
Trump
never
voters, man.
acknowledged really what was done. This is dumb.
It is.
This is really dumb because guess who gets military benefits now.
Is
trans people?
They do.
Yeah, and the government pays for the surgery and the hormone treatment, etc. So, your tax dollars at work, people.
A murderer.
Because some people were like in the military using trans to get out of service. They'd be like, "No, I'm trans. I need surgeries."
Yeah, they can't even be in service.
Yeah.
They're openly trans.
Well, they couldn't at one point.
There you go, man. They deluxe. I see you out there. Out there.
They can't pass psych evals.
Saying baked shit out there. Check your logic. Hey, what's up? Full real RTARD. I know who you are. How you doing, Josh?
Goatman's not wrong. China and Russia, they're laughing at us.
They're drilling, man. I know this is like
they're laughing at us.
Exactly. This is on all of their television sets. And
they're fucking flying missiles around the whole planet while we're doing this stupid bullshit.
Yeah, hypersonic too. It's like, like 5 or 6, 7, 8 times the speed of sound.
I don't know, man. I feel like it would be different if trans people, like, in order to be fully trans, you had to have your dick cut off and had to have ovaries installed
to be considered. No, well, not the ovary thing. No. All right. So if you're going to call yourself a trans, then you go all the way. If the bottom surgery is what decides it. All right.
Otherwise, you're just a cross-dresser who went a little bit further.
Right.
This is how you know it's all bullshit, is when somebody says, I'm trans, they're full of shit, because if they had body dysmorphia, they wouldn't identify as trans. They would identify as the sex that they feel they should be. Not trans.
Yeah.
And trans is a transition. It's not a permanent fucking state. I'm sorry, it's not.
Well, technically it is a permanent state because you'll never finish transitioning. There is no end point.
Well,
because you have to take like the pills to keep your something.
Well, that's what women do with hormones when they have a I can't say the fucking word. How they get their reproductive parts pulled out. They're on the same shit. I'm saying that if you want to go trans, then you do the surgery. And you complete the transition.
Trans people have to like insert something in the gash to make their body realize, or
they have to keep it open, right?
Because their body treats it as an open wound and keeps trying to heal it.
That is more than I ever wanted to know about it. Like
well, ASHERELLA. Sometimes hair grows inside of there.
Trippy is coming with all the nasty.
How do you know all this, Trippy?
There's videos on YouTube,
and it smells too.
I don't know that.
Yeah, because like
douching required.
Do I want to explain or no?
No.
Does it smell like gangrene?
No.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan understands.
All right, so let's move on. All right, let's look at.
We really should.
There was a very important birthday this week. I think we should acknowledge. Let's see if we can pull that up.
Can we also real quickly acknowledge that Alec Baldwin killed a person?
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Oh,
that's right.
Torture our other conversation was less
What did she think the cameraman was there for?
Oh, look at how gorgeous.
He just walked in and said, I'm just here to film you, right?
Got it. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to hang this up with great pride. Thank you, Mr. President. You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, God.
She had surprise coming in the door.
That's telling, isn't it?
Dude, she's so fucking fake. I mean, it's like she's so wooden and stiff. Kisses her husband with her mask on.
Happy birthday,
everything's fake.
Happy birthday to you.
Please.
I reserve. Yes, the hyena cackles.
Yeah.
She's lying when she's hyena cackling.
Oh, she's next. That's the worst part about it.
Yeah, it's just like, how long are they going to let Joey Boy roll? Before they pull the plug
on more news sources about him not being, all there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little odd that exactly what you guys said a couple of weeks ago, Becca and I, right? About, the news sources starting to say that Joe Biden wasn't mentally there. That's starting to become more popular. You guys fucking saw that one coming.
Yeah. Because they've got to wrap it up for you. They've got to wrap it up for everybody so that everybody can believe it. When it's time for him to step down.
Hell, he already had said it how long ago? Before he was president.
Yeah, but everybody that voted for him, it's like they've got to justify going to this second place, right? Because they really didn't vote for Kamala. Kamala didn't even make it out of the fucking first primary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like she was a zero, but yet she gets
people that voted for Joe, man.
Right. Well, and the reason that you run with somebody like her as a vice president is that you don't want them getting the top spot, right?
Well, also, black,
Well, not really.
Wait,
questionable.
Indian.
Her family.
Really,
her family was slave owners. I do know that.
Uh-huh.
The Islander part. Her dad is an Islander, and her mother was from India. So, all right. This is all right. I want y'all to listen to this. It was about a couple minutes. This is a longer reel that we got, and I'll stop it and we'll talk about stuff. But this is pretty succinct shit. This dude's been, this week has been very heavy inside of Congress with some of the stuff that went on, and I'm going to highlight some of it. But this is Jim Jordan of Ohio.
I reserve. Gentleman from Indiana.
Oh, Indiana.
Madam Speaker, I yield as much time as he may consume to the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Jordan.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding. Look, we've seen the worst 10 months of any administration in history. We went from a secure border to chaos. We went from safe streets to violent crime. We've seen stable prices turn into inflation and empty shelves. The respect around the world we had is now turned into the debacle that was the exit from Afghanistan. And we went from peace in the Middle East with the Abraham Accords to thousands of rockets being fired on our friend and ally Israel, not to mention energy independence, to now the spectacle of the President of the United States begging OPEC to increase production. But what scares me most is what this administration and Democrats are doing to freedom. Every right we enjoy under the First Amendment has been assaulted over the last year. Your right to practice your faith, still places today in the country where a full congregation can't meet on Sunday morning. Your right to petition your government, your right to assemble, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, every single one's been attacked. We just learned in the Judiciary Committee from the Attorney General. National School Boards Association last month, September 29th, sends a letter to the President of the United States asking the FBI to get involved in local school board matters. 5 days later, the Attorney General issues a memo to do just that. First sentence of the memo says this. This is the Attorney General's memo. In recent months, there's been a disturbing spike in harassment, intimidation, threats at school board meetings. We ask him a simple question. What's the evidence for that spike in threats? What's the data? What did you review? Guess what his answer was? His only evidence, the only thing he reviewed, was the letter from the School Boards Association, from a political organization. And now they're going to target parents at school board meetings. And we have the January 6th committee issuing subpoena after subpoena. 11 of the people they've issued subpoenas to were names on an application asking the government for permission to hold a rally. Independent individuals exercising their First Amendment right to assemble asked the government for permission. The government granted them permission. And now these 20 and 30-year-olds whose names are on that application, they're going to be deposed by these guys for simply exercising their first. Here's what they're asking them. Here's what they ask him. We want to know who the selection of speakers, who the speakers were and how were they selected. We want to know any communications these people who put their names on a permit, got permission from the government. We want to know any member of Congress you talked to. Wow. Your right to petition your government? That's what they want to subpoena. That's why they're subpoenaing these people? This is scary where they want to go. I mean, these questions, coordination of speakers, discussions of contents, this sounds like what the IRS did to people 10 years ago when they were asking 501c groups applying for tax-exempt status, do you pray at the start of your meeting? I mean, first it's school boards, then it's people applying for a permit. We saw what they did to people, what the IRS did to people just a few years ago. Not to mention what else the committee's doing. Preservation letters to all the carriers, all the companies. Preserve every call, every email, every text. Think about that. Every call someone made to hundreds and hundreds, supposedly, according to news reports, they've done this for. Text to your spouse, calls to your mom, preserve it all. This is just what we know about. This is just what's been reported.
See, they're flipping the Patriot Act and they're using it on their citizens. Never saw that coming.
Which is exactly what people were saying was going to happen with that shit back when it went up.
Yeah.
They're going to spy on us. They're going to use it to spy on us. And everybody's like, oh, no, they'll never do that.
Well, Snowden confirmed that. It was like, it was,
I mean, now Steve Bannon. Mr. Bannon is a target of the investigation, for the investigation, because, quote, this is from the Select Committee's own report, quote, his efforts to plan political activity. That's the standard. You're involved in political activity, they're going to investigate you. We know what this is really about. This is about getting at President Trump. Tried to stop President Trump before he was even elected with the Russia investigation. Tried to remove President Trump from office twice. While he was in office, they tried to do that. Now they're trying to get him after the fact, after he's left. All because this guy cut taxes, reduced regulations, greatest economy in the history, the greatest economy in 50 years, lowest unemployment, all because he built the wall, got us out of the Iran deal, put the embassy in Jerusalem. When President Trump was president, Americans got their Christmas presents on time, but they're coming after him. The Reuters story said this: the FBI has found no evidence that President Trump or people directly around him were involved in organizing the violence. They don't care.
Me either.
Is audio going out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was doing that last time too.
Yeah, I know. It's I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Good. I just thought I had malaria.
Oh, shit.
Hold on a second. I want to see if we can do something here that might help.
Yeah, sometimes you have to live experiment, y'all. That's just how this shit works.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah, because sometimes when you're not live, stuff works way better or differently than you'd expect it to. And then you go live and you're like, oh, well, fuck me.
This is an
That's a fight that I had with Streamelements.
All right. So, yeah, I'm going to bop out and then bop back in. Sometimes you got to do that.
Sure. You definitely do.
All right. And we're almost finished with Jordan.
They don't care. The FBI has no evidence. Senate report said no evidence of a coordinated plan. They don't care. They're going to drag these 11 people into subpoenas, in for depositions with subpoenas, because they're so determined to get their political
Gentlemen's time's expired.
What you know now, do you wish like you had a third term? And I used to say, you know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony, I'd be fine with that.
When you are a president or vice president, they keep meticulous mileage of when you fly an Air Force aircraft. And so about, I guess it was 7 years in to my tenure as vice president. And I used to always like to take Amtrak home on Friday. I tried to go home and see my mom, who was living with us at the time after my dad passed, and I tried to get home. And the Secret Service are wonderful. They're the best in the world. They never liked me taking Amtrak because it stops too often and too many people get on and you don't know. And but it turned out I was about number 3 in seniority on the road at the time. If you did now, in terms of actual time on the road, and a lot of.
What the fuck is he talking about?
I hate him. I don't know.
Hey, like story time with Biden. Just roll with
I know.
it.
It's just, yeah, right. It's
Amtrak became my family. Not a joke. I'd ride every day. I commuted every single day for 36 years as Vice President of the United States. After my wife and daughter were killed, I went home to see my family. Never stopped doing that.
What?
And so Angelo Negri was from. You remember Ange? Ange came up to me one day when they just had announced that I had flown 1 million some X number of miles on Air Force aircraft.
That's ridiculous.
And Ange comes up and I'm getting in the car and he goes, "Joey, baby, what are you?" And I thought the Secret Service was going to shoot him. I said, "No, he's good. He's good. True story." And he said, "I just read, big deal, whatever it was, 1,200,000 miles, Air Force. You know how many miles you did Amtrak?" And I said, "No, Ange, I don't have any idea, pal." He said, "Let me tell you, we were at the retirement dinner." And he said, "We added it up. You averaged 100, I think it says 21 days a year. 121 days a year, 36 years, plus as vice president, boom, boom. You have traveled over 2 million miles, Joe. I don't hear any more about the Air Force." I tell you what, I would like to learn it. You see that something good?
did he also say that his wife and daughter were killed 36 years ago? Oh, Jesus. Mm-hmm. But he did say he was vice president for 36 years.
Oh, dear. Oh my gosh.
You might be muted.
That's what you get for being
agree.
the WNBA.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not.
Yeah, the WNBA, this is the WNBA championship winners, the Chicago, whatever the fucks they're called. And
I can't name one. You're muted.
I'm not muted now. I unmuted. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I caught it. But yeah, the WNBA national champions, and you notice that there's hardly anybody cheering for them.
I can't name one WNBA team.
Nobody can.
Joining me now is that journalist who captured this shocking park moment, and many others. Avi Yemeni, he's done great journalism on this topic. Avi, tell me what's going on in Australia. What is the mindset among Australians to accept this type of rule?
Look, I think Australia is a compliant country. We are a compliant people, and the fact that this Thursday, when we're supposed to get out of our snap 7-day lockdown after 77 days, after 262 days in hard lockdown, it tells the story. This is the most lockdown city in the world, and what you saw there was not a protest. It was somebody literally drinking a cup of tea with her husband on a park bench across the road.
Hey, Avi, you've talked to police. You're right there at these protests. You're right there when these incidences are being enforced. You've talked to the police. I'm so fascinated by this. What is the mindset of the police? Do they all appreciate and embrace this type of rule and this new power they have? Are there some going, or even a great percentage of them going, no, this is wrong?
I couldn't tell you how many. There are some that are certainly embracing it and enjoying the power trip, but you can see in a lot of the videos they don't seem to know the rules or the laws themselves, and as soon as somebody stands up to them, they're not used to it and they back down quite quickly, like any bully, like any schoolyard bully. That's the way it kind of happens, but a lot of these citizens and civilians just don't know their rights or don't know the rules as well and don't know how to defend themselves. And to be honest, when the cops don't realise that when there are no cameras on them, they act as if there are no laws that they're bound by. I heard that there are a number of cops that choose to take sick days on planned protest days, which seem to be every weekend at the moment. But I couldn't tell you how many. It is scary. I tell you, a year and a half ago, I was standing there back of the blue. Coronavirus, one of the long-lasting effects in this country certainly, is going to be police trying to win back the respect of the community.
Avi, you and I spent an hour together or so on the Will Kane podcast. I would encourage anybody watching, if they want to hear more about what's going on in Australia, to go download that, listen to this conversation. And I asked you this question, Avi, that I'm going to ask you again tonight, and it may have changed with this latest incident which you recorded. In your time with these rolling emergencies in Australia, what's the worst thing you've seen so far in terms of authoritarianism? Now it looks like we've frozen and lost Avi there. I got him back. Avi, what's the worst thing you've seen? There we go.
I would say probably for me the worst has been witnessing police, apply tear gas and deploy counter-terrorism units against peaceful protesters who are demonstrating for their freedom after 262 days with home orders.
You think their government might be doing that to his throttling his account, maybe?
The stay-at-home orders. So some of the scenes that we've seen at these protests, to me, is something I never, ever in my wildest dreams would imagine to bear witness here
262 days of lockdown. Avi Yemeni, Rebel News. Go check them out. You'll find out what's going on in Australia. Avi, thanks for being on with us tonight.
Well, meantime, MIT has canceled a science lecture by a geophysics professor after activists launched an outrage campaign against him over his views on diversity. That professor, Dorian Abbott from the University of Chicago, joins us now with more. Professor, we're going to get to the cancel culture part of this in a second, but I want to talk about the controversy itself first, about your views on diversity. You think it's treating people as members of a group instead of individuals, which you say is repeating a mistake that made 20th century atrocities possible. Explain that for us, sir.
Yes, that's correct. So a fundamental principle of moral philosophy is that we have to treat each person as an individual with inherent dignity. And if we violate that, we run the risk of repeating atrocities of the 20th century. So that's the danger.
Yeah, you say that these activists who actually got this whole thing canceled at MIT should not be blamed because, quoting, they are fish swimming in a sea of confusion. But you go on to write today in Substack, quoting here, the fact that such stories have become an everyday feature of American life should do nothing to diminish how shocking they are and how damaging they are to a free society. The fact that MIT, one of the greatest universities in the world, caved in so quickly will only encourage others to deploy this same tactic. You believe this is a dangerous precedent?
Yes, I do. My wife was born in Ukraine and she had to be baptized in secret because if the government found out, her mother would have lost her job. And when she heard about what was happening on campus, when I first told her, she says, it sounds like what my mother told me about Soviet times. So I think that the free society is at stake here.
Yeah, I'm curious because your speech was based on climate, right? And so how was diversity and equity inclusion being brought into this?
It has nothing to do with the speech. It was a criticism of my political positions and an attempt to cancel my talk because I didn't agree politically with the activists.
Yeah. You go on to write, Professor, this is not a partisan issue. Anyone who is interested in the pursuit of truth and in promoting a healthy and functioning society has a stake in this debate. Speaking out now may seem risky, but the cost of remaining silent is far deeper. You've said that science should not be about politics. Science these days, Professor, is riddled with politics, especially in the middle of this pandemic.
Yes, that's true. And we need to all strive to get the politics out of science and focus on doing our research and move forward together.
We talk a lot about this, and it used to be, you learned in college that conformity was the enemy of science and that it was all about robust debate. It doesn't seem like we're holding to that value anymore. Is that a fair assessment in your point, Professor?
I mean, to be fair, this is the place where Noam Chomsky, sharpened his teeth.
A question?
I think it depends on the subfield. We can all try to do better to push the boundaries and not conform to ideologies that could be damaging.
Yeah, and I guess lastly, I would ask you, we talk about this, there's a woman on Capitol Hill today, and she's talking about Facebook and the influence it has on young people. We've talked a lot about the big tech kind of shutting down some of these scientific stories. And if you disagree with the coronavirus, if you disagree with the Wuhan lab leak theory, you are simply shut down. Is that also a dangerous precedent?
I think censorship, wherever it exists, should be opposed.
Yeah. Professor Dorian Abbott, thank you for coming on, sir. We appreciate it.
Joe Concha joins me now. Joe, the woke mob demands ideological purity, even in the hard sciences. I think that's absolutely terrible. What say you?
And this shows us where the education system is going, Stu, as far as our kids. And I have a second grader, I have a kindergartner, so I'm not near the college level, but I see the future, and it's horrifying in terms of I just keep checking off the universities that I'm not going to send my kids to because I see taught there where they're not getting the basic blocking and tackling around math and science and reading, where the U.S. is currently ranked 25th in the world. Think about that for a moment. China's number 1. Ireland's 11. Yay, the Irish. 21st is Australia. We're 25th because we're concentrating on all this other stuff. And only one side of the perspective on XYZ is being allowed, as opposed to, as in this case you just brought up with this.
You kill
him. I
You can't hear me.
Yeah, I can.
It was after you changed
you can.
Are we learning something today?
Yeah, when I adjust the speed, it cuts off the sound of y'all. That's interesting, isn't it?
Like so random.
I changed it.
I'm gonna keep it at 1.3.
Discord now.
What?
Yeah.
I said I'm wearing my AP costume in Discord now.
No, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So there. Yeah. He's talking about that MIT professor being canceled. The speaker at MIT. My bad. So, but we can move on just a little bit to this. And I do want to talk about. Hold on a second. Joe Concha. Guy's a very interesting dude. Biden rambles.
Men would in fact have a big breakfast. I'd ride every day. I commuted every single day for 36 years as Vice President of the United States. The American people have never, ever, 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 ever let the country down. When you talk about the number, we shouldn't even talk about the numbers.
All right. What's your judgment of his performance? Literally, his performance of the speech yesterday.
Well, I look at the content more than the performance. He's never been a very good public speaker, but if we're looking at that optic, he's very awkward to watch. He goes off on these tangents where you don't quite know where he's going or why he's even bringing it up. But then he says, and this was the key takeaway, and I'm glad you had that in that particular montage, we shouldn't even have to talk about the numbers, he says. What he's talking about is his spending plan, right? This is a president that insists to the American people that $3.5 trillion in spending, and we all know, Stuart, it's more like $5 trillion when you take the gimmicks out of it, will cost the American taxpayer $0. He says this while core inflation is currently at a 30-year high. He says that spending $5 trillion more, this is new money, by the way, is going to somehow reduce the debt and be a middle-class tax cut.
not, I mean, these are things that are demonstrably false. They're lies, and he needs to be called out on it more. But he keeps going back to this talking point, and it's why, and Jason Chaffetz brought it up earlier in your show, why a majority of senators still reject this spending, because the math doesn't add up, and the president doesn't have the ability to make a coherent argument around it. And he hasn't done, by the way, a sit-down interview since before Labor Day. And the reason why is if a halfway decent journalist gets in front of him, they will press him on these talking points that he keeps putting forward. He's not going to have an answer for it, and that's why he's running the CNN and the safe space over there to do a town hall tonight, instead of actually sitting down with a real journalist who could follow up on questions and ask him to be specific. Explain this, Mr. President. How does all this math add up? The answer is it doesn't. His handlers know it, Stuart.
And there's 3 more years to go. Got that. Joe Concha, we will see you again soon. Got it.
Disagree with the Israeli government policy, why not just stop sales completely?
This is Axios interview of Ben and Jerry, of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, man. Fucking hippies.
Yeah, listen to this.
Yeah, and they press him on Israel, and I think Jerry is definitely Jewish, and I think Ben is. I think they're both Jewish, or they were raised Jewish.
4 years to go. Got that. Joe Concha, we will see you again soon. Got it.
Sorry.
Disagree with the Israeli government policy, why not just stop sales completely?
Well, I disagree with the U.S. policy. We couldn't stop selling in the U.S. I think it's fine to be involved with a country, to be a citizen of a country, and to protest some of the country's actions. And that's essentially what we're doing in terms of Israel. We hugely support Israel's right to exist, but we are against a particular policy.
You guys are big proponents of voting rights. Why do you still sell ice cream in Georgia? Texas, abortion bans. Why are you still selling there?
I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting question. I don't know what that would accomplish. We're working on those issues of voting rights and.
Oh.
I don't know. I think you ask a really good question, and I think I'd have to sit down and think about it for a bit.
Okay.
I don't know what that would accomplish. Well, what does it accomplish not selling it in Israel? I mean, same rule applies, dude.
Yeah. So, all right.
I can't believe they're still alive. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, can't talk about it.
Well, I just remember
the fetus injections.
What?
That's how they're still alive. You know, all the elites are on the baby fetus injection train.
Oh yeah, drinking baby blood and stuff. You're right.
Yeah, they use baby foreskin to keep their facial skin real nice.
It's not just baby foreskin.
They suck the foreskin off.
It's a certain.
Sorry, it's true.
It's actually a certain hormone, right? That's secreted when you scare the shit out of somebody. So they have to scare the kids, and then they have to take their blood afterwards.
Oh, the adrenaline?
Man.
Spikes?
Adrenochrome.
Yeah.
Adrenochrome. All right. Last night, CNN did a town hall with the press. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the best part from it. And I kind of modified it just a little bit. All right. So we're going to put this in here. Before that. Whoops. Can't do that yet.
Hater, look it up. It's true.
Yeah.
A lady went on Ellen and forgot the other guy's name. Steve Harvey. And promoted the baby foreskin facial cream.
Here we go.
I am the great Cornholio. I need TV for my bunghole. I need TV for my bunghole. I need TV for my bunghole. I must get TV for my bunghole. TV for my bunghole. I need TV for my bunghole. TV, you must give me your TV. I am the great Cornholio. I need TV for my bunghole. I need TV for my bunghole.
I reserve. Gentlemen from Indiana.
Madam Speaker, I yield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the great Cornholio. I need TV for my bunghole. I need TV for my bunghole. I need TV for my bunghole. I must get TV for my bunghole. TV for my bunghole. I need TV for my
Literally, all right, so he's like, Anderson Cooper's asking him a question. And he's just standing there like that.
What? Big what?
His butt has been wiped, obviously. Yeah.
Is that a therapy thing that they have taught him so he can stay focused, or?
Oh my god. I've never actually heard anyone say anything like reasonable about or try to explain it in like a reasonable
Maybe it's a
way.
signal. Maybe he's trying to tell, it's like a
help.
Help. It's like I can't. I'm because he did meander like quite a bit last night in places. And hey, there was some fucking faces that I had seen at town halls previously. There's a bunch of fucking paid people that are good that are touring with this shit.
That is absolutely the classic stance of I've already shit my pants, but if I squeeze my cheeks close enough together, maybe it won't all come out at once.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't want to mess up his fishnets.
Yeah.
Oops, spaghetti.
Signaling we're gonna run out of toilet paper
shit
again.
Shit spaghetti, hanging down, dangling around every place.
Bunghole. CP, you must give me your CP. I am the great cornholio. I need CP for my bunghole. I need CP for my bunghole.
I love Beavis and Butthead. Oh my god.
Hey man, yeah, I was rolling with them last night too on Odyssey. I've got a 5-hour thing of just them ripping on shit, and they kind of took a left turn in a couple places and did some different stuff. So I have a lot more fun on Odyssey, to be honest with you, because there's just too much I can do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying there?
Yep.
Victor Rand says he's using a jetpack. Clearly.
Is that what people were talking about, the jetpack thing? But because I think you said something about it.
That one's really good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to look at is Merrick Garland's testimony, the AG, who just after one letter decided to create to involve the FBI on those domestic terrorists. Those angry parents who dare question the local school board, right? Right? I can hear Easy laughing. You get that Beavis.
Conduct of the committee. Rules do. That's not a rule. We had a video. We understood you had a video.
I seek recognition for a parliamentary inquiry.
Gentlewoman objected because you failed to follow the rule. Her objection is sustained.
Mr. Chairman, I seek.
Does the gentleman have anything else?
I seek recognition for a parliamentary inquiry.
We had. Yeah, but I'll yield back in just a second, and particularly for you.
Gentleman yields back?
No, I haven't yielded back yet. I said I will in a second. It's a video about parents at school board meetings, moms and dads speaking at school board meetings, and you guys aren't going to let us play it?
It will not be played. An objection has been heard that you failed to give the 48 hours required by the rule, and therefore
what rule?
Mr.
Chairman, what rule? You have to cite the inquiry. What rule? Please present the rule.
Didn't that guy poop his...
Yes, he did poop his pants. You're absolutely right. It's Jerry Nadler. He's the one that pooped his pants and was like walking, kind of doing the sideways shuffle while Nancy took the podium. I think it was he like looked at her and then she popped over. It was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, it was like that look she
I
knew.
pooped my pants.
I always call him the
my
penguin,
pants.
and he was doing the penguin shuffle that day.
He's wearing diapers every day now.
He kind of looks like the penguin, man.
Yeah,
He really does. You got a point.
Batman villain.
All right, so they're asking about their. All right, so Jordan wanted to roll a video, so everybody could, to go along with his opening statement, right? And they said that there was against the rules, but there wasn't a rule. It was a protocol that they had agreed upon, like a couple of years ago. All right. And he was saying, well, it's like you have to wait 48. You have to have a 48 hour notification for anything video to be played. And he didn't do that. So they tried to say it's in the rules, but the rules are specific and they're written down for the this subcommittee, right? Which is the House of Judicial Subcommittee. So let's all right. And with that frame, look at the picture.
In the case of audio-visual materials under the leadership of my predecessor, Chairman Goodlatte, a Republican, the committee developed a written protocol for managing the use of audio-visual materials in our hearings. This protocol simply requires members to provide 48 hours notice they are going to use audio-visual materials. Until recently, this protocol was not controversial.
It was a helpful tool we used to manage hearings and make sure videos played properly. The gentlewoman has objected to the materials because the gentleman did not provide the agreed-upon 48 hours notice. Playing audiovisual materials during a committee hearing is the equivalent of introducing printed materials into the hearing record. In the normal course of business, we do not object to each other's requests, but members have the right to object if they so choose, and an objection has been heard.
Mr. Chairman, did we ever vote on that? That's a clever written statement, but a protocol is not a rule.
Statement.
Mr. Chairman, obviously you're not going to let us play it. Obviously you're going to censor us, which is sort of the conduct of the left today, it seems, and Democrats today, it seems. I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. A point of order. Gentleman will state his point of order.
Yes, the purpose of the 48-hour notice is just to make sure
It is not a
they
point
have
of
the
order,
right
as I said before.
audiovisual equipment.
Playing audiovisual materials during a
That's
committee
it.
hearing is the equivalent of introducing printed materials into the hearing record. In the normal course of business, we do not object to each other's requests, but members have the right to object if they so choose.
That dude's mic wasn't on.
And an objection has been heard.
Yeah.
Sir, I've asked you to rule on my point of order.
The gentleman has not made a valid point of order. The gentleman.
Move the table. Move the table.
There's nothing to appeal. There's been no ruling. There's been no ruling.
There's just been an objection.
There's just been an objection, and the objection has been heard.
So now we'll introduce the Attorney General.
Now we'll introduce the Attorney General.
It's like the dude is like telling him what to say. Could you not hear that?
Yeah, he's the Democrats' attorney. The Republican one is standing behind Jim Jordan.
Oh.
So they
will now
advise
introduce today's
them
witness.
throughout hearings like this on what the actual rules, regulations, and stuff are of these hearings and how they can get around certain rules and regulations.
Merrick Garland was sworn in as the 86th Attorney General of the United States on March 11th, 2021. Immediately preceding his confirmation as Attorney General, Mr. Garland was a judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. He was appointed to that position in 1997, served as Chief Judge of the Circuit from 2013 to 2020, and served as Chair of the Executive Committee of the Judicial Conference of the United States from 2017 until 2020. In 2016, President Obama nominated him for the position of Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Before becoming a federal judge, Attorney General Garland spent a substantial part of his professional life at the Department of Justice, including as Special Assistant to the Attorney General, Assistant United States Attorney, Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the Criminal Division, and Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General. Earlier in his career, Attorney General Garland was in private practice, and he also taught at Harvard Law School. He earned both his undergraduate and law degrees from Harvard University. Following law school, he clerked for Judge Henry Friendly of the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit and for Supreme Court Justice William Brennan. We welcome the Attorney General, and we thank him for participating today. Now, if you'd please rise, I will begin by swearing you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is true and correct, to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief, so help you God? Let the record show that the witness has answered in the affirmative. Thank you, and please, Mr. Shabbat.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'd start by asking unanimous consent that an op-ed that appeared in last week's Wall Street Journal by the author of the Patriot Act, Mr. Sensenbrenner, former chairman of this committee, entitled "The Patriot Act Wasn't Meant to Target Parents," be entered into the record.
Without objection.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney General, most of us had other jobs before we got here to Congress. For example, I practiced law for quite a few years. I was a county commissioner. I was a member of Cincinnati City Council. And before that, I was a school teacher in Cincinnati in the inner city. All the students in the school were African-American, and I taught the 7th and 8th grade. It was my experience that the kids who did the best were the ones who had parental involvement in their education. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I think parental involvement is very important in education.
Thank you. Now, with that in mind, having parents involved in their children's education, I have to say I find it deeply disturbing that the National School Board Association convinced the Biden administration to sic you and your Justice Department, the FBI, the full power of the federal law enforcement in this country on involved parents, as if they were domestic terrorists. One of the tools in your arsenal of weapons, of course, is the Patriot Act that I just mentioned. Not many current members of this committee were here when we passed the Patriot Act, but I was. And Mr. Chairman, you were too. And I remember clearly that we were both concerned about potential abuse of this new law enforcement tool. And that's why, for example, we insisted on sunset provisions on some aspects of the Patriot Act. But I can tell you, not in a million years did we dream that one day we'd see the Justice Department treat American parents as domestic terrorists. And in a primer on domestic terror,
I'm going to say it was inevitable. At some point, somebody was going to say, let's turn this shit on the, because, You never know. I'm just saying.
I would argue that was the point in the start.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was.
Misgender will.
What did you say, Roasted?
People who misgender will be next. They'll be the next domestic terrorist.
Yes. Yeah, dude, you heard it here first.
Speech is violence.
There you go.
That's right.
Terrorism issued last November by none other than the FBI, Mr. Attorney General. The FBI explicitly stated that, quote, under FBI policy and federal law, no investigative activity related to domestic terrorism may be initiated based on First Amendment activity, unquote. Now, parents speaking up at a school board meeting against the teaching of critical race theory or anything else that they want to talk about is clearly a First Amendment activity. Now, of course, school board meetings can sometimes be highly emotional affairs. Parents do care about their kids' education, how they're being taught, what they're being taught. And these parents have every right to be heard, even if former Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe thinks otherwise. Now, no one has the right to be violent or threaten violence. And if anyone does that, they can be dealt with by security or by local law enforcement. But we don't need the vast power of the federal government throwing its weight around. We don't need you, your Justice Department, or the FBI trampling on the rights of American parents who just want the best possible education for their children. So, Mr. Attorney General, let me ask you this. According to the Sarasota Herald-Tribune, one example of a so-called terrorist incident was a parent merely questioning whether school board members had earned their high school diplomas. Now, that might have been rude, but does that seem like an act of domestic terrorism that you or your Justice Department ought to be investigating?
Absolutely not, and I want to be clear. The Justice Department supports and defends the First Amendment right of parents to complain as vociferously as they wish about the education of their children, about the curriculum taught in the schools. That is not what the memorandum is about at all, nor does it use the words domestic terrorism or Patriot Act. Like you, I can't imagine any circumstance in which the Patriot Act would be used in the circumstances of parents complaining about their children, nor can I imagine a circumstance where they would be labeled as domestic terrorism.
Thank you. I'm nearly out of time, so let me just conclude with this. We ought to be encouraging parents to be actively involved in the education of their children. After all, if our children are to be competitive with the children of Japan and South Korea and India and yes, China, for tomorrow's jobs, they better be getting a top-notch education in this country. Let's support and welcome parental involvement, not use the vast powers of federal law enforcement to target parents as domestic terrorists. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Attorney General, I'd like to direct your attention to the easel behind me. The first painting is a Claude Monet.
I'm sorry, I can't read any of the words.
You don't need to. Okay. You just need to look at this great painting right here.
It's a very beautiful painting.
It is beautiful, and it is listed at Christie's for $700,000. Now, Claude Monet was the founder of the Impressionist movement, something I didn't know until I researched it. The second painting is a Degas.
How do you not know that?
Another well-renowned artist, and this painting sold for $500,000. The third painting, you may recognize this name, is a Hunter Biden.
I don't recognize the painting.
The Hunter Biden painting sold for $500,000. Also,
yeah, 500,000
It
fucking
looks like my
dollars.
7th grade science project.
Sorry, the other ones were pretty ugly too. It's just my own personal taste. I don't like a lot of old school art, like the Renaissance and shit. Like a lot of those stuff to me, it's just ugly. I think Van Gogh was kind of shit.
Oh, I like Van Gogh. I love Van Gogh,
Okay, I like them, but
I love Impressionism. It's one of my favorite. Yeah. You should look at Austrian Expressionism. Austria Kokoschka might be more your
all artists from
your
the
flavor.
past were horrible.
see, like that shit, like that
Racist.
stuff that they were doing was like amazing, and like
But
some
they
of
were
like
racist.
art where they just draw like 2 different blocks of color, and they're
I always
like
saw Van Gogh
art.
draw white people.
What?
I don't know.
So now you may think
that's
that such an
right.
exclusive that when Hunter Biden is in such exclusive company that he would have a background, artistic training, for example. But you would be wrong if you thought that. And you might think that he had some sort of apprenticeship with a world-renowned artist, but you would be wrong again if you thought that. Or perhaps that he has been selling his works for years, and again, unfortunately, you would be wrong. It turns out that in 2019, Hunter Biden couldn't find a gallery to list his art. And what happened in 2020 that changed all that? His dad became president of the United States. Now, a single piece of art from Hunter Biden sells for more than the average American home. This art arrangement is so suspicious that the Obama administration ethics czar, Walter Schaub, tweeted on July 10th of this year, Hunter Biden should cancel this art sale because he knows the prices are based on his dad's job. Shame on POTUS if he doesn't ask Hunter to stop.
Yeah, and I want to say that that Nobody Not Me is said art is useful for money laundering, and it's like that's exactly what they're using it for, in my opinion. It is.
And I was joking about
Yeah.
that, guys. I was being turkey. I'm not serious about Van Gogh and stuff.
I think his art is actually like
Sure.
a little interesting. Sorry,
It looks like he
unpopular
painted.
opinion, but
Man, I
his
like
own-
I love art. Okay, I loved my art history courses and shit. They're worthless. I mean, I couldn't get a job with this shit, but man, I was exposed to so much gorgeous and and repellent shit. You know.
Yeah.
I think art history was my least favorite part about art because they're so like fucking pompous and full of themselves, like people that.
Well, yeah, and that's usually if you're an artist, and I was all right, and actually sold stuff for a while there back in the day when I was in college, and I remember that all these people, at art openings would come up to you and start talking about shit like that, and it was like, okay, you're knowledgeable, but it's like, are you just going to shut up and buy my fucking sculpture, please?
Yes, all right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't. They're all fucking fake. The best thing about an
Yes.
art opening is the free bar.
And they'll sit there and look
Last
at the painting and be like,
weekend-
you know what this means? The artist was going through a lot of personal turmoil at the time.
Hmm.
And it's like, who gives a
Last
shit?
week,
They didn't.
last weekend I was at the mall and there was a van in the parking lot that was painted like Starry Night, and it was like Van Gogh. Like, I thought it was like brilliant. Like,
I love
I wish
Van
I
Gogh.
would have taken a picture of it. Me too.
I touched
Didn't
Starry
you tell me
Night.
that you touched Starry Night?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
we
fucking
talked
touched
about
that
it.
thing.
Well,
And I'll brag about that till the day I
Oh
die.
no!
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was at the Museum of Modern Art, and in
I
my
love that
city.
painting.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And it's a lot smaller than you would think it would be. But yeah, it said don't touch. And it was just a velvet rope right there. So I said, fuck it. And I leaned over and I fucking touched it. Right. And
You
then
rebel.
I touched the Degas. But not that Degas that they showed.
You are such a rebel. I love it.
And then, and then a Boccioni sculpture too.
Irate is naughty.
I might have been under the influence of herb. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, it's not like the best place to go to an art museum,
Right?
especially when they got a huge Max Beckmann, the size of, it was the size of like 2 king-size beds put
Well, you can
together.
tell that Hunter Biden was on all. Is it Hunter? Yeah. You could tell his art was done while he was either high or just after he was high.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Looks like a
But it's
pile
like
of
what
vomit.
somebody thinks that modern art would look like. It's a terrible fail.
Yeah, it could be
Like,
anything.
Yeah.
whether or not it's actually his art.
But that's
don't
a
even know.
point too. But that looks like there's some kind of Klimt like influence, but it's like Klimt took a shit. Just saying. Gustav Klimt. You should look at it. You'll know that one painting called The Kiss. You'll recognize it. It's very famous. All right, let's keep rolling with this. This is almost over.
By the way, Mr. Attorney General, this is the same Hunter Biden who's being investigated by your department and the IRS for tax fraud. Selling fakes or having a fake skill set is nothing new to Hunter Biden. When his dad was vice president, Hunter Biden received $50,000 a month from a Ukrainian oligarch to sit on a board of an energy company. What was Hunter Biden's background in energy? Nada, nothing, zilch. Soon after he and his dad got off Air Force Two in China, Hunter Biden became a private equity guru and assisted with a Chinese private equity firm linked to the Chinese central bank. You might ask what his background was with Pacific Rim Investments or the Chinese central bank. Nothing. With his dubious track record, inquiring minds might question why any art gallery would want to sell Hunter Biden's art. Well, this particular art gallery had its COVID relief loan more than doubled by the Biden administration.
Ooh.
In a survey of more than 100 art galleries in New York's 10th congressional district,
The COVID relief loan was double for them because they sell Biden's paintings. Dude, it's all I told you, man. All this shit's a big money grab, man. It's that's and it's like and we're not part of it. We're just we're the ones that are getting sucked. We're not the sucker. We're not the sucky. we're suckers because, you know, we're not suckers. They're sucking us. How about that?
This particular art gallery received by far the largest SBA disaster loan. And as an aside, Mr. Attorney General, the member who represents the 10th Congressional District is none other than Chairman Nadler. Mr. Attorney General, who buys Hunter Biden's art? Who benefits? What benefits do they receive from the Biden administration? The American people want to know. I've sent a letter to the Department of Justice before your tenure asking them to appoint a special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden. I have today sent a letter to you, and I am asking you now, will you appoint a special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden?
I'm not, for the same reason that I'm not able to respond to questions about investigations of the former president or of anyone else. I'm not able to discuss any investigations pending or otherwise with respect to any citizen of the United States.
Did you catch that slip, though? He said it's pending. So that means they're not doing jack shit.
It's in limbo.
Yeah. That's his lawyer shit coming out, right? Yep. I don't even think he realized what he said.
Attorney General, I worked for the Department of Justice for 15 years. You are allowed to tell us whether you will appoint a special counsel. You may not tell us whether you are investigating or not investigating a particular matter, but you are allowed to tell us whether you will appoint a special counsel, and that's my question.
Well, apparently I just received a letter today from you, and we'll be taking it under advisement, but I wasn't aware that you had sent me a letter.
Okay, I appreciate it. Mr. Chairman, I yield back, but I would like to first place into the record 2 articles. One from Vox, Why Obama's Former Ethics Czar is Highly Critical of Hunter Biden's Lucrative Art Sales, and the second from the New York Post, Art Gallery Repping Hunter Biden Received $500,000 Federal COVID Loan Records Show.
Without objection?
You know, Obama's former ethics advisor has been writing many articles criticizing Biden on many things.
Yeah, they're prepping him to boot him.
Yes.
You know, I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and here's a little palate cleanser for y'all. All right.
Well, here we are in the supermarket. We're standing here with the bare shelves. Look at it. There's absolutely nothing here. The shelves are bare. It's empty. It's empty like Sleepy Joe's brain when you think about it. There's absolutely nothing on the shelf. Look at it. Bare shelves all over the place. They say we're building back better, and yet we have nothing in the supermarkets. We're standing with the bare shelves. Bare shelves, Biden, okay? Empty shelves, Joe. It's a disgrace, believe me. Well, we're here at the gas pump. When you take a look at it, $3.45. It's a disgusting thing, you know. I remember back in the good old days, it was $1.50. Not too long ago, it was $1.50. The prices are higher than
good at it.
A certain president's son. We're not going to talk about it. Hunter Biden. They're higher than Hunter. They're going up faster than the numbers on the scale. When Brian Stelter takes a step out there, they're going up so fast, and you look at it. Sleepy Joe, he did that. He's the person to thank, but not to worry, because the best is yet to come. Believe me.
Here's your ostinato. Terrorist, terrorist, purple for parents are. Terrorist, terrorist, purple for parents
Murder.
are. While some had good intentions, they all were misinformed. Now threatening violence, doxing teachers has been.
Why can't this bitch
What the
choke
fuck
on a
is-
fucking ham sandwich?
What is
What
wrong with
is she
people?
fucking doing? Oh my
She's
god.
a teacher.
Yeah, she's a teacher.
Tell.
Yeah.
Oh
You can
my
tell
god.
she's so fucking teachery.
She's an edgy teacher on the libs of TikTok.
Comes a
Whatever
night,
that is on
they
the
come
opposite
to
of
school
it.
board meetings
gotta be
with
like
lots of things to say, and they will bully, cuss, or scream if they don't get their way.
We'll make them enemies of the state.
Heck yeah.
This is BECCA. Yeah. You know that hurt like a motherfucker. And she bit the pole. Just saying.
Yeah, dude. You were on my show when we saw it.
All right, yeah, and we can talk about this shit.
I was going to ask if you guys saw her.
Krakatoa. See, at first I thought this was Elizabeth Warren's like initiation into the tribe, but I was wrong.
Right. This is a white
This is
teacher.
a California teacher.
I bet her classroom doesn't like her. They decided to air this shit.
And eventually, I get to go home. And I get all of my feathers.
So if I remember correctly, this is a California teacher, and she was suspended, but not for this. It was because one of the students complained that she felt threatened by this teacher.
Wow.
Von Sacco told me. She's not too far away from Von Sacco. I think I have that story correct. It's insane.
Yeah, speaking of Bon Sacco, he lurking dirty out there, ain't he?
He's always
He's
dirty.
he's on the Twitch. He's on the Twitch.
He's
Oh,
vicarious.
he is.
Super vicarious.
When I say Johnny Bon, you say Sacco. Johnny Bon.
Sacco.
That's right.
It's weird because Johnny only got vicarious when I started coming around.
And that's not a capitalist kind of curious buy, like you buy stuff at the store. I mean, like
Curious about purchasing that thing.
yeah, that's right, fam. So we got a couple minutes till. Let's see, how long is this thing? It's too long. See, I can't. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it.
You know what I hate right now? Now for like 3 days, I'm gonna have like Miss Mary had a sailboat. The sailboat had a sail.
Baby shark.
That bitch can go.
No. What is it? Miss Lucy.
Oh,
Miss
gosh.
Lucy had a sailboat. It's been years.
Damn it.
Right?
Baby shark. Baby shark.
No, baby shark.
I posted that link in the wrong chat.
Hello.
What?
No, I just got the thing queued up for when we move over. We got a couple minutes to kill.
Dr.
I
Abba,
posted your Twitch link in your Twitch chat like a dumbass.
Good job.
Well,
They're already there.
Some people don't know where the fuck they are. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what chat I'm in. I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay.
It happens. Yeah. I've done that before. I did that the other day. Like, you just had, I think, what was it? Becca just ended her show or something, and I put the link for her own show in her own chat. Alrighty. You know? Like,
I
this is
do
what you gotta
stupid
expect
things like
from
that
people.
all the time.
You'd be like, oh shit, oh well.
The only thing I haven't done is post like my StreamYard link in the chat, which is good, or onto Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That would be bad. A bunch of people would show up.
Oh, I used to do that once in a blue moon. Like, when I was on that horrible cunt stream, you know? I would just take the Google Hangout link and stick it on Twitter. Just once in a blue moon. Like, just as long as Schmeckel wasn't around, I could do it without getting in like, yelled at trouble. You know? I did it once, and I was like, hey, Schmeckel, I put the link on Twitter, and he goes, don't fucking do that! And I was like, oop, I deleted it.
Oops. Oopsies. Okay.
I think
well,
somebody that used to stream, I want to say it was Cog. I might be wrong. But somebody had jumped into his hangout at one point, was just playing porn. Like, as soon as they came onto his stream and got him a strike, I believe. That was years ago.
yeah.
Years
People are
ago.
wild.
Mhm.
Commit chaos. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's just lame.
Yeah, true. But it could be hilarious. So,
Could be.
last night, Mom actually came home from work with a Joe Biden sticker that she found on a gas pump. I have to take a picture of it and like put it in DMs or something. But it's
Oh,
Joe
the
Biden
one-
pointing his finger, and it just says, "I did that." And
That's like
somebody
that
else stuck
guy.
it to the gas pump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Trump guy just showed one of those.
Oh,
They're
nice.
popping up all over my area, on the gas pumps, on grocery shelves, checkout lanes. It's becoming the great meme, I guess.
We should
start like anytime you see one, snap it and start a channel or something for it.
Yeah.
And post it up.
I didn't look this up myself, but I heard
Or do
you
like
can get 100-pack off of Amazon pretty cheap.
for like this, we're gonna do like a Biden sticker bingo.
Right?
Yeah, we'll make a
back.
bingo card. Like you have to find them at all these different places to win.
Let me see. I will check this out on Amazon and see if I can get a 100-pack of Joe Biden I did that stickers. Holy shit! It's the first thing that pops up in the Amazon search thing.
Yeah,
It's 'cause we've been
they're
talking about
pretty
it.
popular.
They're listening to you.
Yeah, 100-piece Joe Biden funny sticker. That's all me. I did that. 3 inches. $11.99 for 100 pieces.
Oh wow!
Holy
Not
smoke!
too bad.
All right, so for everybody on YouTube, all right, in 5 minutes we're going to bop over to and be strictly on Twitch and on Odyssey. All right, and Becca has put the links in there. And it's fine that she put it in. You know, some people on Twitch don't know where they are. You know, and it was helpful for them to realize that. I'm sure. You know,
Oopsies.
you never
It's all
know.
that white fragility.
That
I don't know why my head's in that weird space.
All right. So yeah, let's do a little chill out for everybody in here, YouTube wise. So Miss Asherella, you are always first.
Yes. My channel. I'll put the link in the chat real quick. But also, me and Chigon and Bubonic for You and Object of Hate do Kino and Commentary live on Twitch, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. And this week is Objects movie, and it's a good one, so check it out. And I'll put the link for that also. It is Pan's Labyrinth, unless I am mistaken.
That's a great
Yeah,
movie.
it's a good one. We watched The Lost Boys last, so if you want to watch that, you can go back and watch it. That's my favorite movie ever. Yay.
It's a classic. All right, Becca, what do you got coming up?
Hopefully I can stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It depends on little one's choir boot camp thing tomorrow. We're not sure what time it ends, so just keep an eye on Discord and Twitter. If I'm going to go live, I will post it.
Just jerking on them teachers' tails, right?
I can't wait because then hopefully Becca will have some good stories after it.
Absolutely. Chigon, what about you?
So definitely check out Informative Massacre Porn on Thursdays at 7 o'clock Central. I couldn't make it last time, but we're probably going to be mixing it up a bit, I think. And that's on Bubonic for You at YouTube. And then what Asherelle said about the movies. I'd definitely check us out on Halloween on that Sunday because I have a very special movie I really like that we're gonna watch. So check us out then.
Sweet.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Halloween's gonna be special. Roasted. Have you got anything coming up? Anything dropping?
I'm hoping to drop the second season of Roasted Opinions starting here real soon when I get home.
Yay. That's cool.
Nice.
All right, Trippy, what about you, buddy?
We're going to be doing a stream tomorrow night on Saturday instead of Sunday, like I said earlier. It's basically just going to be social media Sunday. It's set to random because I'm going to find some weird shit to show everybody. So it ought to be fun. I think I'm going to be streaming it up against a shitload of people because it's Saturday, but who cares? Y'all can go ahead and watch me or watch them. It don't matter.
Well, I'll be watching the Alabama-Tennessee game tomorrow night.
There you go.
Just saying. You know where I'll be. So, all right, Sunday, I will be talking with Evil Dead Ed. All right? El Jefe himself. We're going to have fun. And the week after that, Harley's Time Out. And the week after that, the one and only Deb Philman of The Reason We Learn. So, and I've got some more stuff lined up that I'm kind of excited about, but I can't talk about it yet. Because, you never know, right?
Ooh.
That's right. And on that note, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the extra or the intro however you want to call it, and then we'll flip over to Odyssey and to Twitch. So please, if you can, share the link out there to these things, to these platforms, because we can't do it here because Susan will kill me.
I got the Odyssey one.
Right? I'm gonna all right, mute us all.
There you go. I put them up there.
And that's Kathy Griffin shaking her tits at the world. Boy, oh boy. My life, I mean, it made my day.
Such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yes.
Back.
Nasty.